Good morning, everyone. Thank you once again for joining me on the Locato Show. Hello, my name is Eileen, and welcome to Mixed Media Monday. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm doing first, and then I'll get into the background in a sec. Anyways, what happened? I'm using a darkroom door stamp. I believe this is called Floral, and I'm using some jet black archival ink. It didn't stamp the way I wanted to. I should have probably used a block. So I'm not really looking for perfection. What I'm doing is I just want some of it to show through. I like that splotchy look. Now I am using a stencil from Stencil Girls. Excuse me, had a brain freeze there. And that is a journal texture number 2, and it's 4x4. The ink that I'm using is archival Forget Me Not Blue, and I just go around the ends with that. So the background basically is from last week's journal page, because I had so much extra sky blue acrylic paint, and the drippage from the high flow, golden high flow, was on, somehow got all over the place, so I just left it. Anyway, so right now I am using that paper as a stencil, and those homes, or those little houses, are from Tim Holtz dye, which is called Artful Dwelling. And I'm just going to be using a watercolor pencil in black, and I'm going to be using that, and it doesn't that's a watercolor brush. Anyways, it just has some water on the side. I'm not really happy with that particular part because it just didn't blend. I don't know if it was because of the mixed media paper or just because the quality of the pencils. So I may have to look into getting some new watercolor pencils. Anyway, so now I decided to use some Time Travel Teal, which is a Lindy's Stamp Gang spray and spray ink, and I just used some water. And you don't have to use it that way. I could have probably just used it from the bottle, but I decided to use it that way because I didn't want to use a lot. And it still looked amazing because the color did not water down at all. It just stayed true to what it looks like if you just sprayed it full strength. So I'm just going back over it with a couple of times, and I try again with the pencil. It just didn't work, so I'm really extremely happy. So now I'm also using some brushed nickel, and I dry that using my heat gun and blobbed a little bit off with my printer paper. So I used 2 sprays. I first used the Time Travel Teal and the brushed nickel, and then I'm just coming over again, going over it, all the 3 houses, with the watercolor pencil, which is basically as a pencil. So that's basically a stencil from I forgot what month it was, but that's basically an exclusive stencil that you get for being a Stencil Club member, and it had like little stitch marks. It's really a really awesome stencil. So anyway, so I'm using that little design, which is like 2 stitches, and I'm kind of using that as my anchor, because I felt like the houses were just like floating in the air or whatnot. So that's what I'm doing. Right now I'm using a 7 Gypsy stamp, which I don't know, I guess this one I must have somehow damaged it, so it didn't come out perfectly. I did use an acrylic block. I have like something acrylic, and it just didn't want to stick. And I'm also looking for the placement of the this bird with a monocle, and it still just didn't work. So anywho, just go with it, right? So now I'm going to be using the Umbrella Man from Tim Holtz. It's a stamp and archival jet black ink. I think that I stamped it wrong, or I don't know what happened, but I got a lot of splotchiness. So what I did was I used Interference Blue, which I used for the roads. It's a Faber-Castell. This one is a small tip pen, and what I did was I didn't. You have a few minutes before it it dries. So I kind of smudged it into the black archival ink to kind of give it a tone and tone look. And I'm also going around it with the same pen. Hope that made sense. You know how it goes. So now I'm going to be making some windows, little doors and chimneys and stuff like that. And since the little green it was there from the golden acrylic high flow paint, I decided to make a little stump. Nothing again is realistic on this page. I'm just kind of having fun and just working out, you know, the feeling of feeling down in blue, and just, you know how it goes sometimes. Anyway, so basically I'm going to be using some printer paper, and I'm going to be using the same marker, or excuse me, pen, and I'm just figuring out the placement. I should have done this before, planned it out a little bit better, and I decided to make it like a flagpole. So I just drew a line and put the little banner or flag piece on, and it just is feeling blue, and I will go around it with the pen, and I will put a link to last week's video so that you guys know exactly how this background, you know, what was going on. And I will put a link, I will put all the information on my blog along with both videos. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.